Back to the newest installment of our Draenora series here on D&D Universe. Just as we always do, I'm going to start with a little bit of announcements, and then we'll get into our last time. So, a couple of things. You may have noticed that there was a bit of issue with uploading episode 3 of Draenora, the one prior to this one. It turned out that the first 2 hours of audio weren't being recorded or even streamed for that matter. So we did what we can. Eventually, I set up the first bit where the audio came in for the first hour, but then for some reason half of it cut off, so we ended up having to post the full raw footage. Once again, we apologize for that. We had taken countermeasures so that way that sort of thing will never happen again, because it was just so frustrating to deal with.
Big sorries.
Yes, big sorries and many thank yous for dealing with it. Other than that, I don't think I'm missing out on anything.
No, that's about it.
Yeah, as always, if you want more D&D, you can check out our Orizon show. All the episodes are on YouTube at D&D Universe. And if you want to watch it live, that is 5:30 CST PM on Thursdays. And if you're watching on YouTube right now, that means that you aren't watching the live version of Draenor, which is 6:30 CST PM on Saturdays. And if you are watching right now live, but you have no idea what's going on, before you come and watch the next live one, you should probably catch up on what you've missed so far. So you can go and get all the episodes of Draenora on D&D Universe there as well. All there, right for you, all in one place. But other than that, I think that's all our announcements. That's a good idea,
but you might be forgetting something.
What am I forgetting?
You could also catch some special things on our channel.
Ah, that's right. Thank you for reminding me. We also have a few one-shots that we have filmed and played in. One of them being a one-shot written by Delta, one of our players in and love him from Orizon and Draenora, who wrote his own one-shot that I actually got to be a player in.
The wonderful world of Delgora.
That was really, really, really fun. So you should go and check that out also. And then as well as another one and some more coming to you rather shortly. I think we can announce that, next week, in place of our normal Orizon time slot, we will be instead filming a one-shot that is going to be a battle royale. The participants haven't been completely decided yet, but they'll be there. They'll be there. And that'll be a lot of fun. So, other than that, I think it's time for our newest installment of Last Time on Draenora D&D. Our heroes, after being separated and scattered to the winds after fleeing from Malgrath's army through each of their own ways, Aklis being charmed by the blue-skinned woman who sat beside Malgrath, and teleporting him away to the western coast of Draenora, to the port city of Murhai, where he encountered a rather interesting blue dragonborn by the name of Dotrin, played by Crimson King. And after some discussion, they both went out on their journey together, Dotrin trying to get away from his home of Murhai, and Aklis trying to return back east to regroup with his allies, and as a result they had to pass through the mountain city of Lothrak, inhabited by purely xenophobic dwarves. Upon entering this magnificent, massive stone city carved into the side of the mountain, they came across some rather strange occurrences. One of them being jumped by some dwarven assassins. And after disposing of them rather easily, they continued on and came to a point uh, after hiding the bodies, they returned back into the Ocean of Dwarves, in one of the main areas of Lothrak, and Jotrin, out of the corner of his eye, barely catching a glimpse of what appeared to be a shadowy, spindly hand grasping onto the corner of an alleyway, and upon pursuing this hand, they found a lift that stretched hundreds upon hundreds of feet up, going all the way up the levels of the buildings that had been carved into the rock. And upon riding this lift up to the top floor, to some sort of noble area, they spied a red-skinned creature with leathery wings and a long tail trailing behind it, seeming to pop in and out of existence, appearing for a moment, then disappearing and appearing somewhere else. And they traced it and tracked it, following it across floating lodestone bridges that seemed to connect this space between the two sides, the two walls of the city, in this magnificently huge hallway, that hallway-like carving, as it were. After walking their way across and losing sight of the creature, they decided to try and head back across the lodestone bridge, where they were attacked by some kind of shadowy, gray-skinned creature with long, leathery wings and two semi-scythes, very short, that it swung at its enemies and knocked the lodestone bridges away from their magnetic pull and separated their segments, stranding our heroes Dotrin and Aklis. After some unfortunate rolls and some less than desirable events, Aklis lost his life, and as a result, his soul was claimed by the Old One, being ripped out of his body, ripped away from any sort of afterlife, and being devoured into oblivion. Though this is the price that one must pay to become a warlock of the Great Old One. And as Aklis's body slumped down and fell, plummeting out of the top layer, Dotrin, with a shred of his vitality left, defeated the creature and headed back down to search for his recently acquired ally's belongings, and found nothing on his body, completely stripped of all of his equipment, clothing, and anything that would have been of value, and snapping off a horn to remember the man by, he was then confronted by what appeared to be some sort of law force, something to keep the rules of the city in check. And after some interesting interactions with a dwarf by the name of Gorton, who spoke little common seemingly, Dotrin found his way outside of the city. And unfortunately, Crimson King, who is voicing and playing Dotrin, will not be joining us. Meanwhile, Sterark had continued to travel in the desert, alone, battling his mirages and the ever-growing madness, until he finally traveled east far enough to return to the canyon that was left behind, that had swallowed Thetos completely. And upon peering into the side of it, saw what appeared to be something moving in the darkness, and upon scaling the canyon walls going downwards, there were hundreds upon hundreds of rattling bones that seemed to be crawling towards Sterark, and up through the walls, any cracks in the stone and the sandstone, just pouring waves of bones that stuck to the walls and to the ground, rolling towards Sterark, until eventually they had consumed him in a mountain, and everything went dark. And he had awakened in some sort of tomb, in a sarcophagus with all of his belongings stripped from his body, alone in a room, and his belongings resting next to him in a sarcophagus. After returning all of his equipment to him and putting all of it back on, he found himself with many sarcophagi on his left and right as he walked down from this seemingly central raised platform from the sarcophagus he had awoken in. And upon pushing open these giant sandstone doors, found a sea of bones before him, with 4 large columns of skulls arranged in tower-like formations, spiraling up to a ceiling that didn't seem to exist. It was concealed by shadow. And upon stepping into the center, a rumbling began to shake the bones underneath him. For a moment, thinking it to be an earthquake, he began to hold his bearings and grab down onto anything solid, but everything began to shake and move when a giant bone worm, some sort of skeleton of a giant sandworm, larger than any he had ever come across before in his travel, spoke to him and revealed himself as the god of death, Kelemvor, in physical form, and struck a deal with Sterark to return his flesh to him in exchange to become his champion and to spread the word of Kelemvor and to abandon Helm, or to have convinced him that Helm has abandoned him. Sterark accepted upon this offer, and in a flurry of darkness and searing, ripping pain, Sterark found that his flesh, his humanity, had been returned to him, though not completely. It would seem as his skin was not the pure pearl white that his skin had once been oh so long ago before he became a skeleton. Instead, it has been replaced by a gray ash colored flesh. And upon realizing this, a stream like a geyser of bones began to raise him up through the ceiling and returned him to the surface. Meanwhile, back in Eleanor, after returning, Emery began to ask around about what has been going on, and upon trying to exit the Silver Dragon Inn in Western Eleanor, he was approached and stopped by a series of patrolling guards who subtly revealed that the necessary papers were required to walk around the city at any time of the day, during the night, and after using his connections to speak with the multiple residents of the Silver Dragon Enclave, acquired a forgery kit, a set of these papers from one of the guards that was in league with the Silver Dragon Enclave, and began the process of learning how to use the forgery kit for his own purposes. And that's where we're going to pick up. But we are going to start with a very short man who, in the middle of the night, entered the Silver Dragon Inn, seemingly trying to get away from some kind of trouble, and took a seat down at the bar, Pops, as he always is, sitting there. Delta? You have just entered into the Silver Dragon Inn. You've been in this establishment several times before, so this time you saw a bronze-skinned man disappear behind the bar door and not come back for seemingly hours. Is there something I can get you to drink?
Right now? No, not right now. Well, firstly, do you have any rooms available?
Yeah, we've always got rooms available.
Okay, okay, because I'm gonna need one tonight, and for probably a little while.
Well, as long as you've got the necessary coin in order, I would be happy to.
Uh, yeah, I know you have a business to run.
And then he's gonna kind of point over to um, this wooden board that seems to be off to the side of the bar that has the prices per night. How many nights are you looking for? Like 4 or 5?
Probably like 5.
Okay, then it says for 5 days it'll be 10 gold. So he points over to the sign and then waits.
I guess I'll hand him 10 gold.
He's gonna take 5 of it and then hand you a key.
Okay.
Okay. It's the first door up on the left.
Thank you. And I guess I'm gonna like lean in, just like, and I'm gonna say, who's that bronze fellow? Does he work for you?
I'll work with him.
Okay, all right. Anyway, yeah, I need to get out of here. What is it? I'm just gonna say I had a bit of a run-in with a crowd who I don't want to be mixed with, shall you say? So probably not safe for me to show my face, if you know what I'm saying.
Room's all yours for those 5 days.
Okay, thank you.
And then you're just gonna go up?
Yeah.
So the day passes. The next day rolls around. And you find yourself lounging the bar once again. And this time, Pops starts the conversation. So what do you do for a living?
Also, who's around?
It's early in the morning. There's very few people around. There seem to be a couple of people who are still getting kicked out from the nights prior drinking. But other than that, it's rather empty.
I could imagine the morning would not be a busy time. But even though there's not a lot of people, I'm still gonna like kind of look around, then kind of lean in. Okay, well, between you and me, you see, I'm a guy around here. I make money off of people's deaths. You know, someone rubs you the wrong way, you know, I can take care of them for you, but it's gonna cost a little bit. So you see, that's my line of work, shall I say?
You expected some kind of reaction.
A bit of a surprised reaction.
Like some sort of surprise in his face, but Pops is unwavering. He's just looking at you with the same gentle smile that he always has on his face. Oh, and I can put the image of Pops on the screen now. The gentle smile and his long white locks flowing down from either side of his face. He's just unwavering, and you take note of that.
If he's not gonna say anything, is he?
Oh yeah, I thought you had more to say before I interrupted you.
Oh no, go on.
Say. Well, that's fair. Is there anything I can get for you? I didn't quite catch your name last night.
Oh yes, well, I suppose I've already told you my profession, so I might as well tell you my name now. My name is Kalos Ninder.
Good name.
Thank you. I suppose I didn't have any say in the matter, but it's a good name nonetheless.
Do any of us have any sort of say in the manner of the choosing our names?
I suppose not.
They call me Pops.
All right.
If you're going to be staying here for the next 4 or so days, then don't be a stranger. As long as you're in my inn, you're in good hands. Do you plan on staying here the full 4 days for something to blow over?
Yeah, you could say let's just say, got a little bit of heat on my back right now.
Do you have any work that you need to attend to?
I've been.
Don't tell me.
Okay.
If you need to clean up, barrels of water out back round right. Clean up there before you come in. Need any bloodstains on any of my places?
I understand that.
What are you gonna do?
You know what? I'm gonna ask Pops. I'm gonna say, listen, you don't seem the type. You seem like a really nice guy. But do you have any work for me? Because I'm looking for work. And I'm sure you've seen plenty of people.
Gonna give you this long, unflinching stare, and it feels like he's staring right into your soul. And you get this feeling that there's nothing you can hide, and like his eyes are all seeing and all knowing, and there's no expression on his face. It's like the same look that a grandfather would have looking at you, and like you've done something, like you haven't done anything wrong, but you still feel like you're in trouble.
Oh, jeez.
But you don't feel uneasy. Instead, you feel this warmth of just calmness kind of spread over your body. He's gonna say, well, I'm just an old fellow trying to run my inn. If you need work, you could work for me, not killing no one.
I understand that.
But you can just help around the bar. We can get to know each other a little bit more. If you need the job. You can stay in your room. This place will be in your home if you need it.
For the time being, I think that's probably what it's going to come down to. But yeah, sure. I'll work here. Why not? It's the only thing I've got right now.
So then he's going to point over at someone who had just come down from the upper floor. He's going to point over at them as soon as they take a seat at one of the tables. He's going to say, that man stayed the night. I need you to go take him his food. And then, seemingly from nowhere, underneath the bar, he's going to pull out a platter of food. And he's going to put it on the counter and say, go take it to him.
All right. I guess I will do so to go take the platter to him.
So then,
put it up on the table.
Over the course of the next 2 days, the two of you are just working together, sharing stories. You more so than him. Is there any kind of question that you want to ask him specifically?
Now, what all has he said, like, so far? Because he said me more than him.
Yeah, because until you say what question do you ask him, he's just asking you questions.
Okay, so it's basically just a one-way street.
Well, you haven't asked. I'm asking what do you want to ask him during those 2 days?
Well, you know what? I'm gonna ask him what kinds of stories he has to tell, because I'm gonna say he seems to be a little bit more than, or it's like I feel like he'd probably be more than meets the eye, just because big, or well, old dude, big scar across the face.
I'm asking if you wanted to ask anything specifically,
Nothing specific.
like a question. So that way I know how to respond. Because like you can just ask about his scar. You can ask why people call him
Yeah,
Pops,
I'll
like
ask how
things
he
like
got the
that.
scar. Why not?
Um,
That's like almost like the elephant in the room on
yeah,
his face.
it's definitely the elephant on his face.
Uh,
And once again, you're expecting some sort of reaction out of him since you're just so blatantly blurting this out. Because of your general curiosity, he's gonna say, "It wasn't always an innkeep." That's all he's gonna say.
I'm gonna look at him kind of like with a shrug, like you know how it's like you kind of like put your hands up and you kind of like shake him a little bit, like, can you elaborate maybe a little?
He's going to dodge the question and
Okay.
give you a task, and then you go do the task.
Okay. Huh. All right.
Any other questions that you're gonna ask him over the next couple of days?
Have I seen the bronze-skinned man around?
Nope.
I'm gonna ask what happened to him. I'm gonna say, so that bronze fellow. You said that you worked with him. So where has he been all this time? Does he just not work that often, or?
Pops is gonna say, "It's right there." He's gonna point over behind you, and then suddenly appearing there is gonna be the same person, and he's gonna be standing in a corner in the darkness.
Oh. Oh well. I don't know. I guess my vision isn't the best. I suppose. I don't know. I guess I just haven't seen him.
Sneaky. You don't watch for him, you won't see him. He's already gone. Gonna point back behind you once again to the spot that he was in. Then you turn around and he's not there.
Oh. Oh. I thought I've seen shady figures in my day. Jeez. It's almost magical how fast he did that.
I guess you could say that. He is pretty fast. And then the next few days go by. Are there any other questions?
Mm, if there's nothing in particular that's like an elephant in the room, like the scar or like the bronzish looking man, I don't think so. I think it'll be an average couple days. Just
Okay. Then the 5 days pass that you were staying there. And then you start to get curious about if you should continue to pay for a room or not. Because the
okay.
5 days that you paid for are already up.
Yeah.
And that the morning where they would run out, it rolls over, and you report back downstairs to the Pops, who's every single day always already there. Um, no matter how early or how late you get up, he's always there before you are.
Okay. Um. Well, I suppose I'll ask him two questions.
Okay.
One, so firstly, I'm gonna walk up to him and I'm gonna say, oh yeah, do you want the gold for this next day or next couple days?" And I'm gonna kind of take out my gold.
He's going to pull out a small little bag, and he's going to drop it on the desk. He's going to say, "You're already working here, and this is what you've earned, minus the room
Oh,
that you will be paying for as long as you stay here." and you're gonna open it up, and it's gonna be 20 extra gold pieces.
Hey, all right, nice. And now this might be a weird question, but how you seem to be always behind this counter? Do you like? Do you have a? Do you sleep? Like, do you just? I don't
He's
know. I'm a little confused.
he's gonna smile really wide. Course I sleep. I'm just like any other man. Why? Why do you ask?
I don't know. You just seem to be. You seem to almost be down here all the time. Like you're always up earlier than me, no matter what, or later than me, I suppose, as well.
Well, you know, us older folk, we get up at the wee hours of the morning.
Hmm.
It's best not to think about it, though when I do sleep, it's a few hours after you've already retired for the night. You have a job to do, and then you are reminded of your daily tasks that you've been entrusted.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then another 2 days pass, and it's been a week since you first arrived at the Silver Dragon Inn. And this time, Pops, the morning you comes around, he says something before you do. He's gonna say, "You haven't left for any of your work. Why?"
Well, I mean, I suppose I've been making money here, and I guess I haven't really had the need to. I was just doing my work before because it's how I put food on the table, and I don't know, I was pretty good at it.
There's nobody looking for you, or how would people normally contact you?
Well, it's kind of before this. It was kind of tough to contact me. If I see the thing happen, say someone, I can obviously see someone is, say, extorting someone or possibly trying to cause a fight. I can obviously step in that fight for them, or maybe I'll just go around asking like you, like I did to you. But I don't ask just anybody. I won't ask some rich man looking like he could easily just tell the guards and have me poof gone in a second. Maybe some of the poorer folk, need someone just gone. They're not gonna. The guards won't believe. The people living in the slums and the poor folk, they're only gonna believe those rich folk. It's the gold that matters. So anyway, off task. That's usually how.
How often do you get hired?
It fluctuates. You know, I mean, I once had 5 jobs in a week. That was probably one of my busiest weeks ever, and sometimes I only have one a week.
It's been a week.
Yeah.
What I'm asking is that, are you done with it?
you know,
Are you content just being a worker here? Do you want that for the rest of your life?
all I'm gonna say is I don't think this is the work I was destined to do, but uh, I don't know. It just seems to be working out here, but I don't really know what I'm gonna do. All I know is I was good at what I did before, and I need some time to think about it. Or I needed some time to think about it, and I've thought a lot this past week.
And what was what you came up with?
I want to keep doing it. It's It's the only thing I've ever known. I was raised on the streets, and I suppose it would only be right of me to stay in the streets and do what I've become masterful at, masterful, masterfully skilled at, I guess you could say, over these many years that I've been doing it.
Kalos, you have any dreams? Not the ones that you get at night. I'm talking dreams of things that you want to do, what you want to become. Got any of those?
Yeah, you know, seeing as this is really the only thing I've ever known, I'd really like to not only do what I did, shall you say, but I want to be one of the best there is at it. I want to be renowned and feared. And you know, if I'm gonna do it, then I want to be the best at it.
Do you have any family? Where are the rest of the Nindares?
I can't answer that question. You know, from what I can remember, the only family I've had is some street thugs, various different groups who were willing to take in a young child, kind of mold them around like a lackey until I was old enough to go off on my own, do my own work.
So you don't know where you come from. You don't know how you got here. Don't know if you've got any other family. And for the first moment, the whole time that you've known him, there's going to be fear that shoots into your body. He says, is there anyone that's going to care if you're gone?
I'm gonna kind of look at the ground a little surprised by this, and because that definitely would catch me off guard. I suppose not. I haven't really formed any strong bonds with much of any single group, I suppose. So no, I suppose not.
So then you're gonna die alone, with no one knowing, no one caring. That'll be the end of the great Kalos Ninda.
It's definitely not how I'd choose to go out, but if that's how fate has it, then I guess so. But like I said, that's definitely not the way I would have hoped it would have gone down.
You want to be part of a family, Kalos. One with many brothers and sisters.
Alright. What what are you getting at here?
Come with me. And for the first time, he's gonna press a secret panel in the wood underneath the bar, and the side of the bar is gonna open up, kind of shifting to the side. And then he's gonna kind of gesture you to come behind the bar.
Okay, and I will do so.
And then he's gonna walk to the side. He's gonna like turn to the side, and then from your point of view, it's gonna look like he turns back to the left and continues to look forward. But then you're gonna feel a push on your back, and it looks like you're about to hit the wall, but then you pass through it.
Ooh.
And behind you, you feel a presence, like a hand on your shoulder or something, and there's a long set of stone stairs going down to a door. And you're kind of being pushed from the center of your back, not roughly, just gently, like nudging you along.
And after a few steps, you turn back to see what's nudging you, and it's Pops.
Oh.
Go, walk. You can walk on your own.
Might I ask where we're going? You know, because definitely wasn't expecting this behind the counter.
There are many more surprises to come. And then by the time you've said that, you've both already reached the sort of stone and metal door that is in front of you, and a slot slides to the side. And you hear a voice say, "Who are you?" "Open the door, you buffoon!" And then the door slides open and you see this large two-headed creature, one with a large empty socket on one of its heads and then a large cyclopean eye on the other head. Sitting in a small wooden room off to the side of the door that you just entered through as you enter into this small chamber, sitting on a stool that's rather large to support its large weight. And then you hear a voice. "Who is it?" It's the boss. It's the boss. "Who's he got with him?" "A small guy." "Well, who's he?" "I don't know." And
if I might interject.
What?
If I might interject.
Speak up.
I'm gonna start I'm not like gonna be shouting, but like I'm gonna be speaking a little bit louder than normal. I'm just gonna put my hands around my mouth, you know.
Yeah.
My name is Kalos Ninder. I'm a halfling, 2'1".
Well, I can see. Well, I can't. I told you he's a little guy. And then Pops points over to the corner of the room, across the room from you and to the right. And he walks over, and a small hidden panel slides to the left, and he pushes a series of buttons that seem to like compress into the wall with each click, and then the wooden wall seems to slide to the side, similar to the way that the bar opening did, into some sort of compartment to reveal another set of stairs going downwards even deeper.
Okay.
And he's going to point down the stairs, and he's going to tell you a couple of coordinates. And they're just numbers to you. You don't know what they mean. And then he's going to touch you on the shoulder, and you're going to feel something go through your body. You can't tell quite what it is. In some spots you feel cold, in other spots you feel warm. And then Pops turns around and starts to walk back towards the original entrance that you came from, then begins to shimmer and fade until he's growing more and more transparent and no longer there. And then all that's before you that you're staring at as you've turned around from the door that he just opened is just the Etten sitting there, almost motionless, not saying a word. Still and quiet. Very eerie compared to how lively the pair just seemed to be.
Yeah.
And all that's before you is the stairs going downward.
I guess I'll go down them. Just
As
gonna
you
be
take
in silence like everything else.
As you take a couple of steps, your feet, as they hit the stone stairs, don't seem to make any noise whatsoever, and you can hear the door sliding close behind you. And as you make your way down this dark, dark tunnel, you get down to the last step, and you remember the numbers that Pops told you, but you don't see anything around you for a moment, and then suddenly a silver outline appears around these panels that didn't originally seem to be in the wall, and you press them as you were instructed to, and then a large circular stone slab begins to rotate, grinding stone against stone as it goes to left, and then suddenly reveals this large, open, dome-like structure with a huge pool of water, with scattering pieces of stone and rubble, pillars jutting out from the sides that have been cracked in half and splintered across the pool, and across the way you see floating wooden platform with mountains of crates to the left and a few tables in the center, and then a bar all the way across on the other side of the room, and a few figures that seem to just be standing there. One of them has already noticed you, but the other two don't seem to pay much attention. And you look around and you notice a walkway that's kind of along the edge of the pool, on either side, left or right. What do you do?
Okay, so can I notice that the one person's noticed I'm here?
Yeah.
Can I go over there?
So you begin to walk along the left side of the pool, sticking close to the wall to the little bits of stone that you have, and you begin to walk over to it, and you see the most beautiful woman you have ever laid eyes upon. Something that you never thought you would ever experience in your day. It's this beautiful half-elf who has long, flowing, brownish, blackish hair flowing down her shoulders. And she's wearing a pendant that has a large ruby in the center around her neck. I'll expand the image so you guys can see a bit better. Vibrant scales upon her armor. It drapes down and covers her body. As you're approaching, she waves an arm gently with a very sincere smile, beckons you forward. Are you lost, little guy?
Well, Pops led me down here, and, I don't I mean, I suppose this is where I'm supposed to go.
What'd you say?
I said, I mean, Pops led me down here, and, so I guess this is where I'm supposed to go.
I'm only messing with you. You couldn't be down here unless Pops let you down. If you got here without Pops, I'd kill you.
Huh. Well, I suppose
I'm
that'd be fair.
Bex. What's your name?
My name is Kalos Nindare, and it is a pleasure.
You said that a little too sincerely. If you're gonna be one of us, you probably shouldn't just go around saying your actual name.
Well, I mean, you're also here for a reason. I don't know. That's just me.
Take my words to heart. Kalos, you said your name was, right?
Yeah.
I know about you. If you're here for what I think you're here for, go talk to the small fella over there. His name is Geralt.
Okay.
And she's pointing over to the gnome who is sitting across the way at one of the benches.
Okay. Then I suppose I'll make my way over there.
So you begin to walk across this wooden platform that is slowly bobbing up and down in the water in this pool, and suddenly you feel like a bear paw on your shoulder, and the fingers go down to almost your chest and your tiny stature, and it's gray in color. Where do you think you're going?
I was directed to talk to that guy over there, him, and I'm gonna point to the gnome.
Who told you to talk to Terry?
That lady over there.
Jenna told you to talk to Terry.
I suppose.
You're so green, it's funny. He's gonna slap you hard on the back and you're gonna take 2d6 of bludgeoning damage.
Oof. Alright, that's not bad.
3 points of bludgeoning damage. And it's gonna send you flying 5 feet forward.
Oh.
And now you find yourself in front of the opposite side of the table of the gnome.
Okay. Well, I was told to come see you.
Yes, but first, what's my name?
I'm not quite good with names. I don't think I caught it.
The other two didn't tell you.
What, you gonna...
The other two didn't tell you.
Ah, well. The first one I met with just said that fellow over there. And, well, the tall guy, I don't know. He was way up there and I was down here. I don't know, I guess I just didn't hear it, maybe.
You're really bad at lying. See, in our line of work, information is very valuable. And when one of your superiors asks for information, you give it to him. Now, what's my name?
But what if I wasn't lying?
But you were. So far you've been told 2 different names for me. Which one is it?
Was it the one that the large fellow told me?
Here's a better question. What did he tell you my name was?
Do believe he said Terry.
And what did she say my name was?
Can't quite recall. Legitimately can't quite recall.
She told you that his name... Actually, she didn't tell you his name.
You see, exactly.
What she was supposed to tell you.
did.
I can't remember then either. What was
Oh,
it?
Said, go talk to blank.
You can't remember either.
No!
Oh, man. I can't remember. She was supposed to tell you another name, so just pretend like you know a name. Come up with a name.
Oh yeah, thanks for doing that to me on the spot.
Gordon?
Horton. There it is.
Alright. And she said your name was Gorton.
Now, which one do you think is telling you the truth?
Well, you don't look like much of a Gorton. So I'd have to say the big fellow.
That's where you're wrong. You're gonna learn really quickly that you shouldn't be saying your name or telling anybody else the names of any of the people that you're gonna be seeing a lot of down here. So for now, you can call me the contractor.
Okay.
Kalos.
Hmm.
And with that, Emery. At this point in time, it's into the first week of you learning how to use the disguise kit. It is rather early in the morning, and it's just about getting to that time where you would wake up for the first time during the day.
For the first time.
Yeah, the first time during the day. Like the first time you wake up.
So I sleep multiple times during the day?
If you decide to. I'm just saying in the morning when you wake up. This is around that time. So what do you do? Since you're sitting alone in your room.
What a loner.
Let's see, what can I do? I'm going to see if I can talk to the fucking god of an unknown. I'm gonna try to commune with the unknown god to see if I can like get help with my plans.
Make a religion check.
Oh, what the fuck's religion?
Intelligence.
6.
You get nothing. You clutch onto that holy symbol, and you try and concentrate on anything. You're still not quite sure how to do this whole religion gods thing, but you get nothing.
I'm honestly just gonna spend the rest of the time fucking practicing on the thing.
Well, you're gonna need to eat at some point.
No, he's a starving artist.
Art comes first.
Too true.
Also, this is just on a side. This is on like outside of this. How tall is Scandalin? Because he's a gnome. You said.
He's about 1.5 feet taller than you.
12 feet.
He's taller than Grog.
He's taller than Grog.
Here's a question I was gonna ask earlier, like before the session, but how old are each of the people?
How old are they?
Yeah.
You're not entirely sure yourself.
At least 90.
How old would I guess? Like, how did it look?
Well, all 3 of them actually possess the traits of
Immortal.
no, they're not, but you know what I mean. Like they reach maturity around a specific age, and then they look like that for a really, really long time.
Yeah.
Because half elf Goliath and gnome.
Also, on a side note, legitimately, because you didn't say the other name, I was legitimately stressing out because I do terribly in real life with names. And it's like, oh god,
sure
I bet he
I
did
said
say
it.
a name.
I'm
And I was
gonna-
this close to DMing you, just like, what did you say?
Take notes.
I'm almost like I'm gonna go back and watch it, and it's gonna be really funny because I'm gonna say it so blatantly.
And then nobody's gonna remember.
I just think it's funny.
Oh, fine. I'm gonna go out and eat. I'll go out and eat. Why
Okay,
not?
so you go out of your room that's off to the right of the enclave, and Kalos, I'm gonna need you to make a perception check.
Okay. Beep, beep.
13.
You notice, out of the corner of your eye, something moving in the wall, and then suddenly, the bronze-skinned man walks out of the wall, out of a door that randomly appeared there, and just one moment you blinked, and then the next moment there was a door, and he walks out of it. Then you blink again, and the door is gone behind him. And nonchalantly, he begins to walk towards the platform.
Oh. Where am I currently?
Yes, you need to add the picture to your journal.
Oh, yeah, right.
You're sitting across from Scanlan.
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken.
Or as you know him to be,
The contract.
the contractor.
Really, have none of them said their name yet? I do believe.
Beck said her name.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I was just making sure.
It's like, I know I've got all my notes on my in my character sheet thing, But I keep looking at the one I've got written down.
I know, right? Even though I have written notes myself. Did you add it?
Hold on. I had to go back and find the picture because I just really just sent it to you that one time.
Nice.
And I never did anything else with it.
There we go. Okay, so let me put you down.
That's me.
And I'll put down where Emery is.
2'1".
A small, fancy-looking man.
I'm gonna blow him up so you guys can see him a little bit easier. Pretty good.
Okay. Alright.
So,
Right,
what are you doing,
We're all
Emery?
drowning.
I'm gonna go take a seat at an unoccupied table over towards Vex.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have control over your character, by the way.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I've noticed him, right?
Yeah, you did. But
Yeah,
you think that he's just another
Yeah.
person here to see Scanlan, so you don't think anything of it.
Yeah. Very small.
But for
Sure.
some reason, something within you makes you feel like you know him. You can't quite put a placement on it. And then as you take a seat, Vex kind of raises her voice and says, "It's about time you woke up. It's the middle of the day."
I had a late night.
Oh, I bet you did. And then Dimitri throws a few things at you, a bottle, some fruits, and a sausage. Just from where he's standing, he throws it at you.
Yo.
But you're used to this.
Yeah.
You're used to this. You catch all of them really easily.
Just chow down.
And you just begin to eat. Kalos!
Okay.
I just clipped every single person's ears with that type. What are you doing? You're seeing this display.
Well, firstly, I'll be visibly amazed at that throwing-catching display.
Okay.
Secondly, I'm gonna kind of lean. I'm gonna lean across the table to my newfound gnome man who wants to be called the contractor.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say, so if you don't mind me asking, I've seen him around a lot upstairs. Who is he?
Before I answer your question, I want you to look at this. And he's going to pull out a small pouch, and then he's gonna put like a small gem that seems to be all kinds of different colors on the table. He's gonna say, "Grab it. It's yours. Take it."
Reluctantly, I'll do so.
You take it, and then suddenly your entire body shifts to a very bright color pink. He starts to laugh at you very loudly. Look at you!
While he's laughing, do I still have the gem?
Yeah. Well, as soon as you grabbed it and you turn pink, it's gone.
While he's laughing, I'm gonna walk over to across the table as the Bronskins man.
As you're getting
I'm
up,
not gonna have any of them.
Yeah, as you're looking to get up, you hear a snap of somebody's fingers, and then suddenly, as you're trying to get up, all you see before you is just stars and galaxies.
Ooh.
And the laughing stops. And you turn around back at the contractor, and he's sitting in a golden throne with red leather, embezzled with all kinds of gems. And he has a very serious look on his face. He's gonna say, "Kalos." Voice seeming to be different than before, his exterior much more serious. "Why are you here?"
Well, Pops apparently said this was gonna be my family because I don't have one, and I do a certain job.
What do you do?
Well, as you may or may not have heard, uh, the woman back where we were, she knew who I was.
I already know who you are, and I know what you do, but I want you to tell me what you do.
Well, I kill people. That's what I see it as. I kill people. It's what I do.
Is that all you do? Do you kill people? Or do you rip families apart? Take fathers and mothers away from their children? Or do you kill the bad guys? So that way you can bring more good to the world. Are you a hero or are you a murderer? Kalos.
Look, I don't look into the details. If someone says they want someone else, I don't ask. And I don't want to burden myself with asking.
He's gonna snap his fingers once again and he's gonna put 200 gold pieces on the table and he's gonna say, kill that little girl. And you're gonna look over to the side and there's gonna be a small human girl who has these beautiful red pigtails and she's holding what appears to be a stuffed owl bear. And she's just looking up at you with big eyes. Innocent.
Well, wait, that depends. How short is she? Because you said looking up at me.
Oh, she's only like a foot tall. She appears to be some sort of gnome or halfling child.
Okay.
Very tiny.
All right.
I said kill her. You said you don't discriminate, and here's your money.
I'll do
Kill
so.
the little girl.
I'll do so. Shoot her with my bow.
You're gonna knock an arrow and then shoot her point blank. Make a ranged attack because you're within 5 feet, so you have disadvantage.
Oh, okay. I didn't know how far. Then can I stab her?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I'll even let you throw sneak attack and assassinate because it's a surprise hit. Because she looked at you so innocently and trustingly.
Okay. Let's see. So, well, this will be my first attack, so I might need a little assistance.
So it's an automatic critical because it's a surprise hit.
Okay, so basically it's just damage.
Yeah, it's a D4 because you just have a normal ass dagger. So throw a D4 plus 3 plus 4 because proficiency and dexterity.
Okay, and also, let me.
Then we'll add the sneak attack in a second.
Yeah. Oh, wait, oops, that's 44.
Well, we're just gonna go with the first roll, which was a 1, which totals it out to 8.
Okay.
Now throw sneak attack damage, which is 2d6.
Plus anything? Or just 2d6?
No, it's just flat 2d6.
Okay.
Bringing out to a total of 24. And then that gets multiplied by 2 because of the crit. So you deal 48 damage to this little girl. You slit her throat rather easily. And she just falls back to the ground with tears in her eyes, crying and wailing. Till she suddenly disappears. And you turn back to look at the gold on the table that you were promised, and it's gone. All right. How do you feel, Kalos?
Well, mostly I feel a bit cheated. You see, you probably were thinking I was going to say, like, I feel remorse. I've lived around death, and I've lived on the streets my whole life. Believe me, I've seen children cut down plenty of times.
How many children have you killed, Kalos?
Offhand, I wouldn't know the number.
You're cold-blooded. Why did you want to be part of our family? If that's what Pops promised you.
Well, I suppose I never had one of my own.
But you'll kill so freely and so easily. How do we know that you won't just kill us if you're promised a bigger amount of gold? How can we trust you, Kalos?
Listen. Okay, so also, what are the scenarios? Okay, so not the scenarios, but the like where we are.
Surroundings.
So yes, surroundings. That's
He's
it. That's
sitting
right.
on a golden throne with like a red velvet cushion on his back and on his seat. And it's just the wooden table in front of you, and you're still sitting on your wooden bench, and it's just stars and galaxies
Okay.
spotted in darkness, all kinds of bright purples and blues all around you, stars, little specks of white,
Hmm.
and you seem to be floating on nothing. You
Yeah.
look down.
I guess. Okay, so I'm going to lean forward a little bit on my bench, and I'm going to say, listen. What Pops showed me, I've never experienced. He was truly hospitable to me, and he was like the closest thing to a guardian that I could have ever imagined. He took me in at my time of need, and I guess you could say I'm almost indebted to him for it. And I feel as he, if he is mixed in with all this, I feel like it must be a good place. I mean, if he's mixed in, or a good place relatively, I suppose.
This isn't a good place, Carlos.
I did say relatively for a reason.
We aren't nice people. We don't do nice things. And what if I told you that little girl was Pops's only daughter? Would you feel pain? Would you feel remorse? Would you feel sorry for betraying the man that trusted you so much and you trusted as well?
Well, if it was him telling me it was his daughter, I'd feel bad. And I suppose if I were to see him and I'd have to face him with that fact, then possibly. Um, if I had to face him again, then maybe.
Well, at least you're not a completely cold-blooded kid. There's a little bit of humanity left in you. And with that, he's going to snap his fingers once again, and suddenly all of the colors and all of the stars and everything is going to suddenly be sucked back into where he snapped his fingers. All of the black and blues and whites and purples, and then suddenly you're just surrounded in the enclave once again, but you have this piercing headache and your eyes hurt from watching all of that.
Okay.
And to you, Emery, you very used to seeing Scanlan take people away into his space. So it just looks like they went and then once again back into their seats.
Mm-hmm.
Chowing down, not giving a fuck. So what else do you do, Carlos? After you clear your eyes and kind of rub your temples.
I guess I'll sit there for a little bit, and I guess I'll just say, you know, like I said, Pops is one of the only people ever in my life to show me that kind of thing. So, what you said there, say the scenario that if I were to kill someone who may be related to someone like that, well, I definitely hope it doesn't come to that. And all I'm trying to say is that I don't know, maybe I'm not as bad a guy as you make me out to be. Maybe I'm just saying. You know, if you treat me with respect, I'll treat you with respect.
And then Scanlan's gonna say, Carlos. His voice once again changing to something that wasn't quite what he was speaking to when you were in that extra dimensional space. Carlos, tell me, where is your mark? Speak! Where is your mark?
What do you mean? What mark?
You don't even have a mark. Tell yourself. Rog! And then the Goliath, as he stands up from the stools that he was sitting on, two of them pushed together to sustain his weight. The whole platform seems to bob up and down as each foot hits the ground from just his massive size. Standing 6 feet taller than you are.
Oh, ay.
You could stack 3 more of you on top of you. And then you'd be able to look at his eye level.
Oh.
He's gonna say, "What do you want, Scanlan?" Using a different voice than when you had initially come in. "Show him your mark. This boy doesn't even have a mark. He already says that he's one of us." And then pulling sort of this harness that he wears that keeps his weapons on his back tied to him, you're gonna see this like sort of ovular bead of silver in his chest that seems to glow ever so slightly. And then looking back at Scanlan, he's going to pull back his kind of collar and reveal just slightly below his collarbone a similar ovular piece of silver. And Emery, this is your first time hearing about something like this.
Mm-hmm.
In all of these years that you've been here. And then Vexhalia is going to pipe him and say, "Me too! Me too!" And he's going to pull back one of her sleeves, and it's going to be like on her forearm of her right arm. Kind of just holding it up. So both of you are confused.
Yeah. Also, hey, now I've heard everyone's name. Vexalia told me hers.
You don't know.
Grog?
Yeah, Grog said Scanlan, and Scanlan said Grog.
Yeah. But I do not know I don't know the brown skin man.
Yeah, you don't know the brown skin man.
And that is the only person. That's the only thing I have missing from my Pokédex.
The Emery Mon.
The Emery Mon.
Did you pull up two?
The rarest of them all. Well, okay, so yes, it is a moment of confusion, eh?
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm gonna generally say, just to whoever wants to answer in the area, Grog or Scanlan. So, how do I get this mark?
And he's gonna call out to the barkeep. Scanlan is, "Dimitri! What day is it?" And then Dimitri is going to, without saying anything, he is going to put up a hand and make these, he's going to do these weird, like, symbols with his hands, and then out in front of him, almost like subtitles in, like, a foreign film, in common, is going to say what he's trying to communicate. In these, like, floating, blue runic writing.
Okay.
It's gonna say that it's yada 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 of this moon. And I say yada 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 because you have no idea what that first bit means, and you don't know what that other bit means. You, Emery, know that it is the 10th month of the 3rd day of the 4th moon.
Wait, the 10th month of the first day?
Of the 3rd day.
3rd day.
Of the 4th moon.
Okay.
And that date doesn't really mean anything to you.
Mm-hmm.
And then Scanlan's going to reply, "Ah, yes. It would seem that our young boys will soon be receiving their very own silvers. And then he's going to gesture over to you, Emery, as he's going to say, Glitter! Come here!
I'm gonna walk over.
This is Kalos.
Hello.
Kalos.
Mm-hmm.
And he will be your partner.
For what?
Oh, dear boy. For the trials that are to come, for you to finally receive your piece of silver that you so craved.
Piece of silver. Question mark at the end.
And he's just gonna look at you with the straightest face, unwavering. And both of you are gonna stand there confused as hell. Then Grog's finally gonna pipe up after the silence, and he, oh, come on with it. And then he's going to pull out a huge black blade. That's just like this onyx black. And at the end of it, at the hilt, is going to be this reddish gem that seems to have this black slit that's moving around wildly. And it's going to have a faint red glow to it. I'm going to say, if we don't get on with it, then I'm going to have to beat the hell out of one of you.
Well, it's not gonna be me, I hope.
And a few more seconds of silence pass, and then appearing next to both of you, seemingly out of nowhere, just behind your back, Emery, you're going to feel a very familiar hand on your shoulder. And it's going to be Pops.
Hmm.
Listen, son. He's going to kind of pull you to face him.
What is it?
It's about time that you truly became one of us. I've been holding off because I didn't think that you'd be strong enough to withstand this kind of pain. I think you're ready now. Do you accept a little challenge from your old man?
Let's begin.
And then he's gonna turn over to Scanlan. He's gonna say, Scanlan! It's time! And then you say, oh, how I've been waiting for this! And he's going to bring up both of his hands, and as soon as he does, these purple runic circles are going to appear in front of his hands, with the same pinkish purple glow that you recognize as Scanlan's preferred color of magical casting.
Also, am I no longer pink?
No, you're still pink. And
Bubblegum.
suddenly, each
bubblegum.
each of the rocks and rubble that seem to be in the water suddenly begin to move away and becomes slowly like being pushed out, and you see some bubbling coming up from the center of the pool. Then all of the water begins to slowly drain into the center rock that seems to be in the middle of all of it. And as the water begins to drain, each of the rubble begins to slowly be lifted up into the air with some kind of pinkish, purplish glow and be moved over to the center until they collide with the rock and then sort of meld into it, and the rock begins to grow and expand. As it begins to drain all the water, you see this ring of darkness that just seems to go down into nothingness until this is nothing but an empty pit. And a rock is just that's been growing as each of the pieces of rubble begin to disappear slowly, one by one, bit by bit. Till it grows in size. Then suddenly, Ops looks at both of you. And out to everyone, and he's going to say, "Thank you, Scanlan. Now, my son." Looking over at you, Emery.
Yes.
Don't blink. And he's going to let himself fall backwards into this pit. By the way, the pit seems to be about 40 feet deep down until it seems to hit a flat surface, until it goes, and it's flat all the way down until it gets to the center, until there's the ring of darkness. And just as he's falling backwards, you see something magical. His form begins to radiate with this silver glow. And suddenly, bursting out from his back are huge 80-foot silver wings that stretch to fit the size of the chasm. And in a flash of silvery white light, his form disappears, and sitting upon the rock, you're mesmerized. A giant silver dragon sits upon this water-glazed rock in the center of the enclave. And you stand off to the side. Scanlan, Grog, and Keyleth all sit unmoved. And the dragon's head kind of tilts down in the direction of Emery and Kalos, and the both of you hear a voice in your head. Come and receive my blessing. And it begins to open its huge gaping maw, and this stream of white that begins to chill the air around it as soon as it forms into being begins to create this small but walkable kind of stretchway to the rock made of solid ice that, as soon as it makes contact and begins to form fully, begins to glow with this silvery sheen. It lays before you a path to the center rock, the middle of the enclave.
Well, I guess we should do what it said.
Emery, you're immune to this because you've seen a dragon before. But Kalos, I'm gonna need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
I've seen quite a few dragons, actually.
Yes, you've seen a lot of dragons in your time, but Kalos, this is your first time seeing a dragon.
I'm only 2 feet tall. Oh no!
You are terrified. It's frightful aura. Its intimidating aura completely paralyzes you. You are frozen in place. This thing, by the way, is about 20 feet tall, up in its chest, and then its head goes up another 10 feet taller than that.
It was 30 feet tall total.
And its wings stretch out with an 80-foot wingspan on either side as it stands on its four legs with its long tail snaking around the rock and protruding out the other side, and its magnificent horns being enough to be 3 of your body.
I was gonna say,
Kalos.
I feel like I'm gonna start using Kalos as like a measurement because it's like 30 feet. That's 15 Kaloses.
His horns are 3 Kalos long.
And he is 15 Kalos tall.
And you are frightened in place, but Emery, how do you react?
I'm going to try and cross the thing.
It doesn't. You at first expect it to be very slippery because it's ice, but you find very easy traction as you walk across. And you walk across the ice walkway, and as you draw closer, the dragon spreads its wings out, and you can see the inner webbing of its wings like a gentle snowfall. You see the silvery white sheen like fog on a window during the winter. And you are now standing before this huge, magnificent dragon, and you hear the voice once again in your mind. Remove your cloak, my son, and receive my power.
I do so.
And you remove your cloak and you bare your bronze chest towards the dragon. And it begins to open its maw once again, and you begin to see the sparkling bits of air around its mouth beginning to crystallize as a wave of ice goes in your direction. You're just gonna stand there and take it?
I think I kind of have to be honest.
So you stand there with your arms out.
Watch it kill me.
I mean,
you die.
It's gonna throw the damage.
Yeah, it's gonna kill me. I'm
14.
not knocked out. I'm not knocked out.
You feel the intensity of a blizzard being brought upon your body with your body with shards of slate and ice and pieces of hail slamming against you and beating into you as it tears your chest open with the sharp bits of hail and slate, and then instantly freezing the blood that begins to drip down and creating new open cuts all across your chest and over your 3 scars that you received from Gladiator on your right shoulder. And then, after the initial pain fades away, you see this ice that's clung to your chest and embedded itself in you, these small little bits of gray, until they begin to crawl across your skin, searing hot pain as it begins to carve your flesh, kind of all trying to come together. It's spread across your full abdomen and torso until it all coalesces into a small ovular sliver of this silver material. And you have just received the blessing of silver. So, in your notes, I need you to add that you have resistance to cold damage.
Okay.
+2 to stealth checks. +2 to deception. And your charisma stat increases by 1.
Hey.
Wow. Wow.
Quite a bonus.
+2 to deception, you said?
Yes, +2 to deception, +2 to stealth, and +1 charisma and resistance to cold.
Barty.
What was this called?
Blessing
wait
of
a
Silver.
second. Oh, I forgot to do something. And that just... I have luck, which means if I ever roll a 1, I get to roll again.
Reroll it then.
Okay.
That's right. You do have halfling luck, which means that you can never critically fail.
Unless I roll another 1. And that is what, con, you said?
Wisdom.
Wisdom. And that's +2. So that's 12.
12 is the DC.
Oh.
So you pass.
Did you pass? Yeah.
Yeah. And how much damage did I take?
You're not in the path yet because he walked up to it and you just saw this happen, so...
Okay.
What are you thinking?
Well, I'm not completely terrified. Which is good. Now, what all is happening right now, currently? So he just got blasted.
Yes. And then you saw him there, bleeding along his side since you're staring at his back, and you were obviously shouting in pain, because it is excruciating. He is screaming bloody murder as it is tearing his flesh apart and searing into him. Flashes of heat and cold. And then you see him just standing there afterwards. And the dragon then beats both of its wings down at once, sending a gust of frigid air throughout the entire chamber. And then, Emery, once again, you hear a voice in your mind.
Oops.
Son, take my blessing and carry it with you. You've grown so much. I'm proud to be your old man. And you stand there. Then Kalos, you hear a voice in your mind. Kalos, do you believe yourself to be loyal, strong, trusting of your brothers and sisters?
Okay, so, because I'm hearing this voice in my mind, I'm
Yes.
guessing I can just respond in my mind.
Yes.
I guess I'll think, well, yes, I guess I have no one else to trust, so I suppose so.
Then suddenly, with a flash of silver, white, and a frigid wave of cold, everything is back to normal and Pops is standing back on the wooden platform. And he looks down at you and he says, "No." Then his form dissipates once again. And with that, we're going to take our break.
Hey, so, have you heard about that show called Draenora on D&D Universe?
I think I have! With all their wacky characters.
Oh, seriously. You know, like, that Starrock guy. Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh, the prankster Emery.
Oh, Seriously.
Oh boy. And that new guy who turned pink?
Oh, yeah, the tiny guy.
Yeah, that one.
Oh, honestly, there's so much drama that happens too. So many unsuspecting things.
Now, I forgot. What day? What day does that usually happen?
I do believe it happens on Saturdays. What's the
But-
time?
Oh, that's right. 6:30.
Ah, yes.
CST.
That's it. 6:30 CST. That's right.
Now, what else can we hope to watch out of that? Like, what else can we see from that?
It's really anything could happen. Anything can happen.
With a natural 20.
Ah, you are correct. So, what do you recall from the show? Just
Stark's
any.
gonna die.
No. None of the individuals involved in the filming of the show were funny or entertaining. Watching the show may result in contracting diseases such as praising Malil, becoming obsessed with a dwarf named Gordon, superhuman levels of strength, and referring to oneself in the third person as Boulder, becoming the third one. Enjoy the rest of our show.
And we're back from our break. For those of you who are watching on YouTube, hope you like those ads. Yeah. I made those. They took a long time. It was not fun. Anyway, so that's just another incentive not to watch it live on Thursdays.
Saturdays.
Yeah, Saturdays.
What day is it?
I don't support Orizon. Only Draenora.
Yeah, so remember on Wiffle days to come watch Clark Lorbalork.
Nani?
That way you can support the show.
It's Smorgledorg.
Shmoima. Anyway,
Shmoima.
no, stop. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
Nope.
But yeah, you should come watch 6:30 CST Saturdays, so that way you can hear what we're talking about and have a nice fun time while we're all munching, chillaxing, relaxing, because we're people too. You know, we need a little bit
Me
of
a little
time.
bit less than everyone else.
What do you mean? You're not a fourth dimensional being?
That's what I call people.
Oh, I'm a little less than that.
I'm so much more.
I'm like, oh my, that sounded so like, I'm so much more.
Yeah, that sounded like Frieza. And
I'm
this is my perfect form. Anyway.
Like part cat
Cell?
a little bit.
Photoshop waiting to happen.
Photoshop waiting to happen. Anyway, let's
onto Frieza and Cell. Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z.
on Draenora Ball Z.
Draenora Ball Z.
But yeah, so we're ready to come back from our
We
break.
have a dragon. That's step 1.
Oh, true. Wait, I don't want to know what step 2 is. Then.
Anyway, before this gets a little out of hand, we're gonna pick up right where we left off with actually Sterark in the desert.
Yeah, not where we left off.
I meant where we left off with Sterark in the desert.
Pan camera to right.
Hand camera stage right.
Yes.
Sterark, after sleeping in sands after the traumatic experience of you recovering your flesh and swearing to be the champion, Kelemvor, you find yourself surrounded by vultures pecking at your skin.
Can I catch one and eat it?
Make a dexterity throw.
Like, I'd imagine I'm pretty hungry.
Make a dexterity throw.
Alright. Yeah. Yeah, buddy.
That is not a dexterity. And that is not going to be enough.
Yeah, buddy.
You reach out to try and grab one, but they just peck at your hands and go with their shrill shrieking and they flap away and leave you be, and all you see is the heat, and you look down at your hands once again, and for the second time you're feeling your flesh once again and seeing it down on your body, something that you still aren't used to.
That's neat.
And then you continue to head in the direction you believe to be east. It's about midday, so you're unsure. I need you to make a nature check.
Yep. Okay. No, come on. It's teasing me. Let me see. Character sheet. Nature is intelligence. That is a 3.
That is a 3?
That's a 3.
Okay, so you can't discern what direction you're facing after you've woken up, so what is your plan of action since you have no sense of direction? All you know is that you need to be heading east.
So I can't tell the time of day.
Well, you know it's
Well, no, I
midday,
can't
but
tell direction.
yeah, you have no idea what direction. And with the winds ever shifting and changing rapidly and randomly, you can't really get a bearing using that.
Am I still anywhere near Thetos?
Yes, it is about 70 feet off to your left where you emerged from the ground the night prior.
Can I get my bearings off of where Thetos is?
Make a perception check.
Alright. Oh, jeez.
What's the total?
Perception is wisdom. 21.
The DC was 20. You gaze upon Thetos and trying to get a bearing on your surroundings, you recognize and remember the direction at which Thetos was being sucked into this canyon that was formed by some powerful being.
I don't remember it was a sandworm.
Well, you don't know if it was the sandworm that caused that huge earthquake. You don't think it could have been the sandworm to create this, like, almost half a mile long canyon.
Okay, I didn't like. Oh, that's a lot bigger than I thought it'd be.
No, it swallowed the whole city of Thetos.
Oh, geez, like from the third ring and everything.
Yeah, all of it just got sucked into the canyon.
Oh, jeez, I guess I never actually really took a look at that.
Yeah, like it's absolutely massive. So you gaze at it and you recall that the way that it got sucked inwards, you can tell that, so you're facing forward with it at your left, that you're facing north, so you know that you need to turn right and move that way to go east. So
I'll do so.
You lost a couple of hours trying to figure out and get a bearing on your sense of direction, but then you continue onward, and it's time for the dice. Say stuff. Talk about things while I grab my notes.
I need to ask. Do I feel hungry?
Yes.
Am I actually thirsty?
Yes.
Okay, so here I was thinking, maybe I don't need to eat, maybe I don't need to drink. No, I'm a human. I need food. I need water.
Sustenance.
Oh, you give me your puffins.
I need nourishment.
Feed me. What was your name? Kalimvor. Oh man. So that adds a lot more difficulty for my 3 months journey.
Yeah, that's a pretty big roadblock. You guys should talk about stuff while I continue to get the stuff that I should have had ready.
Hey guys, have
So,
you ever heard of a quaint little channel called D&D Universe?
Yes, I do believe I have.
Oh, do you? Well, then you know they have a few little series going on. This being one of them.
Ah, yes, Draenora.
That'd be it.
What's a
And-
Draenora?
Oh, you haven't
Oh.
heard? One of the
It's one of the
biggest
many D&D
campaigns.
series.
One of the biggest campaigns on this channel.
Uh-huh.
D&D Universe.
And another campaign on this channel, D&D Universe, called Orizon. Oh, that's another really good one.
But who writes in them and who plays the characters?
Ah, I'm glad you asked, young man.
Some plebeians.
Okay,
and
stop
by the name of-
because of that's enough because I found one thing, I found what I needed, and two, I'm actually gonna have this be one of the advertisements, and I'm gonna have us do that because I really like that, and that was really funny.
Well,
But I
Delta Digoras plays Raldir
Can't
and
even
I'm sorry.
it's fun.
Delta Digoras plays Raldir and Kalos. He's the best character.
He's the best character. All right, so here we go.
Yeah, well, yeah, in both.
You travel on and on into the wee hours of the night, but nothing happens.
Can I search for food before it turns to like full night?
Make a survival check.
Siri. Oh, I have proficiency. Please. Survival is wisdom, which is a +3 actually, because of Jack of Trades, and then a D6 for the proficiency.
So 18 overall.
Yes,
I thought
No.
you got +3, no?
+3,
19 then.
14. Yeah, 19.
Okay, so 19. Even with that, you don't see anything. It's almost as if, besides the large sand dunes that always seem to pile up and form as the day comes to an end, forming these almost hills of sand, you don't see any kind of vegetation, no sign of wildlife. It just seems like a vast, endless stretch of nothingness, disappearing and reappearing as the sands shift and move with strong winds that beat against your body, and you feel what it feels like to be cold, chill against your skin. Once again, and you wrap your cloak more tightly around your person. And you realize that if you don't make a fire, you're gonna freeze to death.
Oh shoot. Oh shoot. Oh no. What do I even have on me?
I'm pretty sure you have firewood because of a very specific paladin that you met in the mountains
In what?
in the Gladiator arc.
No.
Yeah,
I'd be carrying that around.
in your backpack. Yeah, in your bag. Who had the firewood
Oh, I
that
do have a
that
backpack.
Tyrael gave you guys?
I think I did have it because I was trying to chop down the tree and he was just like, "Here you go."
Exactly. He
Boom.
pulled it out of his bag of holding. That it just reinforced how better he was than all of you at the time.
Can you be my partner?
You're not true neutral in this one.
God, I wish he was my partner.
But yeah, so
I'll go ahead and take out the firewood.
do you have
I'll try and figure out a way to light it.
a tinder kit? Like a tinder box?
I don't think I do.
Because you have an entertainer's pack, right?
I don't. I have a disguise kit.
No, I meant the type of pack.
Oh,
that
yes,
you
I do.
chose. You do have a tinder box?
No, I have the entertainer's pack, but
Which
it
doesn't include. So then the only way that you have to make fire is sitting on your waist. But he hasn't talked to you in a while.
Oh boy. Might as well try now. We'll go ahead and I'll sit down and I'll just kind of like concentrate on my rapier.
After you already set up like a stack of firewood to create a fire, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna need you to make. You know what? Just make a straight intelligence check.
Oh boy.
Because it's intelligence to deal with all things magical.
10.
You know what? We'll make it an
11.
Arcana. Because it would more specifically be an Arcana check.
11.
So that's with the Jack of all trades?
Yeah, 11.
Okay.
Or gives me. Yeah, no, it just gives me 1. 11. I don't think this.
So you begin to focus on it. And you try and reach out to Athog. And for a moment you feel the air around you getting colder. And you shut your eyes more tightly, and then in the darkness you see a faint outline of a shimmering golden color. But the outline along the edges of the left of it start to have this sort of inky blotchiness that begins to run over the shimmering gold color slowly, and then you hear what sounds like a cry of pain coming from a creature like another you've ever heard before, until a searing hot pain courses through your body and you take 3 points of fire damage and you're forced to drop the rapier.
I thought I'd drop it. I don't like that.
Fire tonight.
Okay.
Do you have any
Well,
spells or anything that could generate fire?
Mm-mm. I've got my bedroll. You know what? When it says costumes, what does that mean exactly? Like 2 alternate pairs of clothes?
Essentially.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna put both of those on, get in my bedroll, and like try and put the wood to where it like block the wind.
Okay. The night passes, and you take 2d6 cold damage.
Okay.
You take 11 points of cold damage, and you don't regain any health.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, there we go.
And the next morning comes around, and the hill that was next to you the night before is no longer there, and it is now like 50 feet behind you from when it was just next to you when you'd gone to sleep. And these shifting sands always seem to bewilder you every time you see them at work, and you continue to travel on. I'm gonna need you to make a a wisdom saving throw.
15.
You begin to see these visions in your head as you begin to trudge along the sands. And you feel something gnawing on your back. Something feeling like there's teeth going into your new flesh. And you reach down to your back to see if there's anything there at the area that you feel it, but there's nothing there, and you still feel the sharp pain in your back. And healing passes. You continue forward.
Okay, that's the same roll I got yesterday, so no, I'm re-rolling again.
A giant mountain golem.
Well, geez, we need to change the scene because this.
I don't like the sound of that.
It's Pops.
Oh!
Hello, Pops.
Jump scare.
Pops is here to kill you.
Pops
Hey.
jumps out of nowhere. Sorry, what about it? Sorry, what
So,
about it?
off to the west, you see storm clouds gathering once again.
No!
It was a nat 20.
Now I stick out like a sore thumb.
And it seems that you have about an hour before it comes in your direction. And out in the distance, you see in these dark storm clouds lightning striking and what looks like blue scales dipping in and out of the clouds every once in a while.
Curse you, dragon! Have you ever seen those spiders that bury themselves? I'm gonna attempt to do that.
You're gonna try and bury yourself in the sand?
Yeah, I'm just gonna try and dig myself into the sand and hide.
Yeah.
Uh,
Kind of check would that be?
Maybe
I don't
survival.
know, man.
I think
Oh yeah,
I would think it would be survival as well.
yeah.
Okay, I'll go for it.
I was gonna say survival or strength because you have to be digging all that sand.
No, I'd say survival.
Yeah, sounds about right, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm trying to survival right now. It's wisdom, so that's a +3. That's a 16, and then the d6. 19.
You attempt to cover yourself in sand. Word choice. And you begin to bury yourself, trying to conceal yourself as much as possible. And time passes 30 minutes, 45 minutes until you begin to see the storm clouds beginning to come down. The strong winds begin to beat down upon your tiny little sand pile that you've done, as if trying to bury yourself in the sand at the beach. These strong winds begin to blow the very light and gentle sand away from you, just as the winds do every night, till your form is completely visible. And you see the scales once again in the sky. And you have 1 round to do something.
To do something?
To do something. You have 1 round of action.
Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. Oh, what do I do? Oh, my God. And I can't just hide myself again, because that's a repeated.
I'm gonna blow this up so you guys can see Stark.
And low stinkies.
What a hottie.
Aren't I? I think I look
Seriously,
chiseling.
me likey.
Like, look at those soon-to-be dead features.
I like him.
So I'm going to assume that I cannot bury myself again.
No, the sands are like flying all over the place with these heavy winds.
Is there anything I can, like... Is there anything in my line of sight, or is it just pure desert?
It's just pure desert. There is a couple of dunes on your left and right.
I'm gonna pull out a thought.
Okay.
I'm gonna bardic inspiration myself.
All right. Sing a little tune.
Yes. Oh, Stark, a great man is he. Slay and blue dragon is what he shall be. Diddly 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 dee. Ah!
Just screaming in terror.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. That's how I'm gonna end it. Ah!
You earned your bardic inspiration die. Take your inspiration die.
Yeah, thank you. Diddly 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 diddly.
So that's your whole action, and then
Yeah,
I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
yeah, buddy. Oh, I'm so panicky. I don't like this.
A
When are you
natural
when I need the
20.
stealth?
You jump back as a streak of blue lightning strikes at your feet, turning the sand where you were standing into just immediate glass, hot steaming glass as it strikes down on the desert. And just inches away from you, you feel the static in the air, making your hair, your flowing white locks of hair stand on
Yeah,
end.
baby. God, I'm hot.
Throw initiative.
God, I'm hot.
Yeah, no, when I saw his picture, I couldn't imagine him trying to dig himself into the sand. Yeah.
Would you believe me if I told you I got a nat 20?
I would.
Well, you shouldn't, because that was a 6.
Oh, jeez. I'm fighting a dragon, boys.
Good luck.
Oh, that's luck well needed.
All right.
Here I go.
Um,
Hey, dragon, can you not kill me?
I mean, it's a viable strat.
Exactly. I'm asking.
Well, it's your turn to go first.
I'm asking.
Oh, you're talking out to the air like you're shouting?
Yes. Hey, dragon, can you not slaughter me? Sorry, let me word this properly. Hello there, great dragon. May I please live?
Make a persuasion check.
Believe you me, I am going. You monster, I'm inspiration dying that.
You are? Are you sure?
Ouch.
Kill me.
I'm getting some real Achilles vibes here.
Kill me. That is. Well, hold on. Let me go through everything.
Let me just save you the trouble.
Not even with a nat 20?
Oh no, you just threw a 2. Like,
Twice.
yeah.
2 times 2.
No, your
Not
inspiration
even.
die is just advantage.
I know.
So,
It didn't work
you,
out.
all I'm gonna say is that you don't get any response except for a dragon's roar. Just imagine the Godzilla roar from that movie that came out. Like, just
Oh.
ear-piercingly terrifying.
I tried.
And you have one more action.
Ooh, baby. Charge! I'm gonna run at this thing.
You don't
And
see it.
I'm-
It's not in the ground. It's still in the sky.
Oh, it's in the air.
Yeah. It hasn't revealed itself yet. Otherwise, I would have put it on the screen.
Oh. I'm gonna ready myself for an attack. Can I like take a
Hmm.
God, I hate this. I think I'm gonna blade flourish, defensive blade.
Don't you need to land a hit first for that to happen?
No. I can check.
I'm pretty sure you need to land a hit first.
No. You spin your weapon in circles, creating a hypnotic display. Expend 1 bardic inspiration, adding AC.
The other ones
adding die to AC.
The other ones specify after you land a hit.
The other 2 do. The first doesn't.
Okay, so then go ahead and throw it.
Okay.
2 seems to be the
What
number of the night for you.
Stop. I don't like this. I put equals 2. 14 equals 2, buddy. Yeah. Okay.
So what's your AC?
16.
Hey, it's not the worst.
I know,
Would
but
have been a 15.
I'm very scared. I'm very scared.
And you should be, because
It's a
the
dragon.
streaking blue scales fall out of the sky in a rapid blur, followed by a crackling barrier of lightning that seems to streak across its side like a blue falling meteor as it plummets towards you. And then
Oh, boy.
landing right in front of you, this magnificently huge blue dragon.
Hello.
But it doesn't seem to be quite as big as the white dragon that you fought before. Seems to be slightly smaller.
Gladiator?
Yeah, it's slightly smaller than Gladiator.
Yo, he's cool. Be my friend. Don't kill me.
And it's going, as it's falling down and with the lightning all around its body, it's gonna be like trying to take a bite of you as it's flying.
Oh, jeez. Do not.
I
touch
always
me.
throw these in front of you guys.
Ouch. That's probably enough.
That's gonna be a 23.
Yeah, that's definitely enough.
Actually, that is a 27. My bad.
That is even more than enough.
Okay.
Oh.
I threw the wrong dice. My bad.
Oh no. Don't say that.
There we go.
Okay.
You
Healing?
take 11 points of piercing damage, and then you also take 1 point lightning damage.
Okay.
So a total of 12.
Okay.
And then
Nice.
I'm gonna need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oof.
Because it's going to lift its head up into the air, and around its horn, there's going to be like crackling blue lightning around it, and you can see similar lightning beginning to form in the sky above you. What's the total?
It doesn't matter.
Well, what's the total?
Doesn't matter.
What's your dexterity mod? And I think you're proficient with your dex saving throws.
I am 3
And
plus 3. And the d6, right?
no, for dexterity saving throws, you just add your proficiency bonus. It's for
Oh,
skill
then
checks that
it's
you add a d6.
plus 6.
So 11?
Mm-hmm.
11 is not going to be enough.
I didn't think so.
So here comes the damage for a lightning bolt. There it is. Okay. So bringing its head down towards you, a streak of blue lightning is going to fly down from the sky, just crashing down onto your person. And you're gonna take, I think it's what, 8d6? $22 points of lightning damage.
I'm out.
And you fall unconscious. You feel the lightning coursing through your body, and the next thing you feel is your body slumping to the ground. And then the feeling of air rushing past your body. You're unconscious. A few hours later, you find yourself reawakened on a very cold, metallic surface. You look around at your surroundings, and all you see before you is a mountain of gold.
I'm going to. Seeing this, I think I know who it is. And allow me to say his name.
Oh,
Athog?
you get no response, but you begin to hear heavy footsteps that seem to shake the ground with each thud. Just and then each of the coins in the mound rattling, and you begin to lose your footing and you slide down the side. What do you do?
I have no health.
You have
Can I
one
cure
health.
wounds?
Yes, you can cure wounds on yourself.
Yeah, buddy, you believe I'm doing that first. Hi.
Okay, so you restore 11 points of health. Wait, you're not
Back to
adding your
12.
proficiency bonus.
Oh, I didn't know I get proficiency with that.
Yeah, you're casting a spell.
Well, that's 14.
Wait, it's cure wounds, right?
Yeah, it's cure wounds.
My bad. It's
Yeah.
no, it's not. You don't add that. It's
Yeah, I thought it was just the
so
modifier.
you threw +3. Yeah, so you got 11 health back.
I'm also gonna.
You're gonna restore the 5 health that you can with your lay on hands.
Yes. How did you know? No, I'm gonna hit die.
Okay.
I'm gonna use the paladin hit die. I'm gonna hit that 110. 1d10 suck.
Nice.
Suck.
So that's plus your Constitution
cons.
modifier. Yeah.
Yeah. That's 5.
So a
12.
total of 16 health has been returned to you.
Okay.
And as a bonus action, you can lay on hands.
I can, which I probably should. I will.
Okay. You do so and regain another 5 health, totaling you up to a total of 21 health.
Yeah, buddy.
Well, 22 because you had 1 when you.
I'm going to then get up and look at my surroundings. Perception check, please.
Go for it.
Yes. Perception, that's a +3. 16.
You look around and all you see are sandstone walls. You seem to be like not smooth. It seems to be like cracked. You seem to be in some kind of cave with stalactites coming down from the ceiling, dripping some kind of liquid off of them. And you notice several small pools of water around you, around your feet, around everywhere, and just scattered gold coins in every direction that you can see, as well as some other objects that seem to be sticking out of the coins.
Hold on, water?
It looks like water. It looks clear like water.
Can I look at it? Can I check if it's actually water?
You run up to one of the pools and drop to your knees, and you get down on it. Do you want to try and drink it?
No, I want to check it first.
Elaborate.
I want to put my hand in and see if it burns me. First things first, check if it's some sort of clear acid.
Okay. How are you going to check it?
I'm going to poke my finger in. I'm going to be like,
It's cold to the touch. And
just cold?
Yeah, there just doesn't seem to be anything
Not slimy?
strange. Nope, it has the viscosity of water.
I'm going to drink it. Pretty hastily because
It's sour. Extremely sour and sandy. But it seems to be some kind of drinkable liquid.
So I'm gonna drink that. And
you figure that it has to be some kind of chemical reaction coming from the stalactites that it's dripping down from above.
Oh, yo, I already know. You see, that's why I know a lot about geology. I know what's going on there, but Starrick doesn't.
Yep. And then the footsteps get louder, and the shaking gets more powerful.
I'm gonna check if I still have Athog by my side.
You don't.
Oh shoot. Do I see him anywhere around?
Yes, you see him sticking out of the mound of gold that is behind you. He's about 30 feet away from you.
Yeah, I'm gonna dash for him.
Okay. You run to try and grab onto Athog and you pull him free from the mound, but then you catch a glimpse of the same blue dragon that just defeated you in combat. And it doesn't seem to have noticed you yet. It's walking around as you recognize that you are now within this dragon's lair.
I'm going to try and hide, from its sight.
Make a stealth check. You attempt to dive into the coins to become one with the sea of coins, and your hand hits the hard metallic surface as if you tried to leap into the ground of stone.
Perfect.
And you are reminded of a rather purple-skinned fellow that you know.
Purple skin.
Hey, brother! Remember I dove onto the rune
Oh,
first?
ow.
Yeah.
And you hurt your hands.
Well, that made a loud ringing noise, didn't it?
Yes, it did. The shifting of the coins caused the whole part of the mound to slide down in your direction. And the dragon turns its head very slowly and gazes down over to you. What do you do?
At this point, I'm just gonna I'm gonna sort of just kind of just sit down, put my rapier down, and just kind of wait the inevitable.
You're gonna put it down at your feet, or you how you be a little more specific?
I'll put it down I'll kind of toss Athog towards my feet and just sit there.
Like hands in the air, put the gun on the ground type thing.
No, more I'm just kind of waiting, hands kind of tightened against each other near my chest, just awaiting the painful death.
The dragon walks over to you. Its thunderous footsteps as its feet press down into the gold coins, sinking into it slightly as it walks over down towards you. And you shield your eyes against a blue flash of lightning, and you brace yourself. And you feel a gentle kiss upon your lips. And with that, we're going to change scenes back over to Kalos and Emery in the Enclave.
I got me a babe.
Hey! It's just like, it's your wife. You're dead.
Oof.
Yow, hitting close to home.
So, what are you guys doing? Pops just disappeared. You just got told that you weren't ready. You are no longer pink, by the way.
Oh, okay.
That's why I wasn't ready.
Yeah. Pops, is this about my color? Wait.
Okay, move on. Move on.
My fluorescent pink?
Yo!
I can change, I swear.
I can change for you, Pops.
Go
So,
on, Pops, I can change for you.
what are the two of you
I'm
doing?
gonna keep doing what I was doing. I'm gonna try to go along with my plans.
You are heavily injured, my dude.
I know. I don't need to do anything physical.
Physical.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. That's a good song, also.
I'm down but not out. Yeah, time to keep going. Gotta keep trucking on.
Can I see that he's visibly hurt?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You can.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he's,
bleeding
real bad.
all
You know
across
what?
his chest.
I'm gonna use Cure Wounds on him.
Good luck.
Okay, throw a d8,
Plus my spellcasting ability modifier.
which is wisdom.
Okay.
Isn't it you're not a wise man? Or are you a wise man? I don't know.
That was Ackley's.
I know, but are you a wise man?
Yes, +2.
I was gonna say you'll find out, but
Bada boom. 5.
You restore 5 health. Honestly,
Something's better than nothing.
you could have easily have passed out during the test.
He just falls backwards, just
Yeah.
slides down the thing.
Yeah. You barely survived
I
that.
started with 1 health. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use Cure Wounds on him. Then I'm gonna. Oh wait, I can't pat him on the shoulder because I'm only 2 feet tall.
And I'm assault 6.
I'm gonna. Oh.
Excuse me,
I'll-
2
you know what?
foot 1?
Excuse me, 2'1".
Excuse me, you are 1 Kalos tall.
You are. I am 1 Kalos tall. What is it? So I'm gonna pat him on the knee, and it's like, you looked a little worse for wear.
Thanks.
And after all of that has passed over, Vex is going to rush over to you. And she is going to have a look of excitement on her face. And she's going to say, "Show me! Show me! Show me!" Like, and pointing at your chest, because you have your back to her right now since you just got healed by Kalos.
I'm gonna turn around, I guess.
And for the first time, you're gonna look down at the fully formed silver that's in your chest, and it seems to have a faint heartbeat of its own, kind of pulsing in your chest.
Ooh.
I thought you were gonna say faint smell.
No, there is the smell of searing flesh as the bits that were like splattered that formed together in the center to form this piece of silver seared through your flesh to form together. So it does smell pretty bad. And then she's going to pull back her sleeve and then hold it up to your chest, and she's going to say, "How does it feel?"
Strange to say the least.
"Oh, you look terrible. Come on, we need Pike. Pike! Pike!" Just shouting out into the enclave. And then from the same shadowy corner that everybody seems to appear out of, you see a small white-haired gnome walk out and say, "You needed me?" And I'm going to put her over here so that way I can blow it up. That is Pike.
Ooh.
How tall is Pike? Just so you can like.
She is 1.5 Kalos tall.
Okay. So she's 3 feet tall. She's 3 foot.
She's slightly shorter than Scanlan. Because Scanlan is 3'4", and Pike is like 3'1".
Yeah, 3'1", 3'2", something like that, I guess.
So I'm like 2 Pikes tall, but 3 Kalos is
This
tall.
is confusing.
Kalos is 2 feet, okay? That's our unit measurement.
The only measurement system I know is that like 1 Kalos is 2 feet, more specifically 2 feet 1 inch.
I'm approximately 3 Kalos is tall.
Exactly. And Grog is 4 Kalos. 4 Kalos is tall.
Mm-hmm.
And then Pike is going to rush over to you in her kind of clinking chainmail armor with her holy symbol around her neck, and she's going to clasp it with one hand and then put another hand out in front of her, and these whitish, yellowish tendrils of energy just begin to wash over your body, and as these kind of almost tentacle-like appendages begin to kind of just brush over your chest, in its wake, it leaves this kind of green liquid that once it touches onto your exposed wounds, you begin to feel them closing and regenerating, but you don't feel the pain of skin being brought back to your body. Instead, you feel this warm feeling as if you're sitting next to a crackling fireplace on a cold evening.
Mm-hmm.
I healed them too.
And you have all of your health back. I don't even need to roll. She throws 68 for her cure wounds.
Oof. but Ares, that could be just 6 health.
Well, it would at least be 11 because she has a 5 wisdom.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But hey, I healed them too.
You healed for 36. I threw 3 8s. It was actually 41. She healed you like 4 times your health.
Just under 3.
Whatever. Yeah.
Oof.
She's going to look down at your chest And then
What do you mean look up?
yeah, look up. She's gonna look up at your chest, and she's going to pull back her hair and kind of turn her head to the side, and just under her ear, you know where the hair kind of starts, like going onto your neck, like slightly to the right of your nape. Right there, you see a sliver of silver on her neck. And she's gonna look up at you with a smile.
Nape.
And she's gonna say, "Oh, you poor thing. How do you feel now?"
Still a bit strange, but better.
Well, that's good. And Grog is gonna come up to her and be like, "Best buddy!" And then Pike's gonna turn around, and Pike is going to grab Grog's arm, and then they're going to start to have an arm wrestling match in front of you.
Yo,
Okay.
And
that's epic.
Grog is going to look like he's straining himself really, really hard, and Pike is going to look like she's straining really, really hard, but then Pike is going to slam his fist down over the side.
What?
I want both of you to make an insight check.
Insight is...
Yes.
I hope I low roll just so I can be super amazed. Just like, yo, oh my god. Yeah.
You both think that somehow Pike is stronger than Grog.
I'm gonna like slap
Wait, no,
Emery
no,
on the.
that's 6 plus a d6 thing on insight. So that's 12.
12? Oh yeah, 12. Okay, so you're gonna know that Grog is putting it on, but you, Kalos.
I'm gonna shake Emery by the cloak and be like, "That's amazing! I never seen someone that strong. I mean, look at her."
And Grog is gonna be like, "Oh, you monster! You're too strong."
Oh, you're so cool.
I finally remember what his voice is supposed to be like. So, and you see Pike kind of brush off her shoulders, like even though there's nothing there. And then like put up both of her arms and like kind of do a little flex through her armor. And then she's gonna say, "Well, it was nice seeing you, Grog, but they need me back at the temple." And then she's going to walk through the same shadowy corner and then sort of seem to dissipate into the shadow, into these little bubbling black spheres until she's gone.
Wow. That was pretty interesting.
And then Vexhalia is going to kind of just still be looking over your body, Emery. And Kalos, you get the feeling that he is being like kind of almost over examined. But in like a familial way. Like she looks very, very worried.
And then there's me. Just
So where is it? Just out of curiosity, like
it's like on your sternum.
Okay.
Actually, it's a little bit higher than your sternum. Like just a bit, like
where you're like just below the collarbone?
a little bit lower, like the center between your sternum and your collarbone.
Okay, yeah.
So right there. Like just directly in the center of your torso. And your 3 scars that you have from Gladiator go down from your right shoulder all the way down to about your right side, kind of just vertically going down to 3 huge claw marks. And Vexhalia is gonna like brush her fingers over the scars. Say, "How did you get this?"
Would you believe me if I said dragon? Like,
You've done
jokingly.
worse things, so yes. Would you believe me if I told you that these scales that I have here are also dragon? He says sarcastically.
God, Emery's such a ladies' man.
So, what are the two of you gonna do?
I'm gonna go back to doing my thing. The practicing and
The recluse.
All right, so you're gonna go back to learning forgery
Mhm.
kit. So you're gonna return back to your room, and Kalos, Scanlan
Well.
is going to speak up. Kalos,
Yeah.
I've got work for you.
Okay.
And he's going to reach into his kind of cloak that he has on his side, and for a moment, I need you to roll a perception check.
Okay.
Let's see if you can spot this.
Oh.
For a second, it just seems like there's nothing in his cloak, and then he produces a scroll of parchment.
Ooh.
And then he's going to snap his fingers once again, and the both of you are going to be once again in that transdimensional space, and his voice is going to change now to a more serious tone. Kalos, consider this a test to see how well you can benefit me in our newfound partnership.
Okay. So what do I have to do?
He is going to unfurl the scroll, and it's going to have a picture of this sort of merchant, kind of tradesman looking person. And he's going to say, "This man has betrayed our trust and said one too many things. There are a few others in the trade district who don't want him around anymore. The reward is 200 gold pieces on a few requirements. You need to kill him quietly and dispose of him quickly. And with the new obstacles that have been placed in your path, it'll be rather difficult to move around within the city limits. So I am very intrigued to see how you go about this." And he's going to slide the parchment over to you. You're going to have a visual of your target. And he's going to snap his fingers once again. And both of you are going to be back in the enclave. Well, go. You have your assignment.
Yeah.
You have 4 days to complete it.
Right. Okay, so I guess I'll try leaving the way I came.
So, a couple of things that you remember is with the new recent changes, to move around during the day or the night, you need papers. You need the appropriate licenses and paperwork to be able to move around freely and openly. Your only other option is to try and hide from the guards and move through the alleyways and shadows. But that's up to you to decide if that's a risk you want to take.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'm just gonna keep trying to go the way I came.
So you begin to walk along the outer edge once again, and you gaze over at the pit that has now seemingly filled once again with water from some unseeable part in the ceiling as these slow trickles of water rain down in streams from above in a few places, about 5 or 6, just scattered around, and the pool is once again filled. And the rubble appears to be slowly coming back, and you can see little bits of stone here and there. Though you walk around once again, and you look at the walls, trying to remember where you came in, and then suddenly, once again, you see the small, silvery shimmer of a few buttons, and you input the sequence that Ops spoke to you only but once, but you remember it as if you had known it your entire life. And once again, you hear the sound of stone against stone as the circular disc of stone rolls over to the side to reveal the stairs going up once again.
Okay. Just gonna go back up.
So you walk up the stairs, and you get to the entrance, and as you approach, you input the sequence once again on another panel that seems to be off on the side of the wall to your right, and you input it, and the wooden door slides to the side, and you see, right before you step into the room, you see the Etten sitting on his stool, motionless, and then as soon as you take a step into the room, he acknowledges you and takes off like 30 locks that are on the side of the door, the metallic door that has the slot, and then he's going to gesture with one hand. Go.
I will go through the door.
Who is it?
It's the short one.
Which one?
The new one.
Which one's the new one? There's 3 short ones! And you're gonna see the Cyclopean one, the one with the eye, like, looking back and forth, not knowing how to explain this to the other head. And then he's going to put a hand on his head, well, his hand that he controls on his head, and he's just going to... His eye is looking around everywhere. And he's going to grab you suddenly and put your hand on the blind one's face.
This one.
Oh! That one! And then he's going to let go of your hand.
You know what? Just because it's like I feel bad for the one who can see. I'm just gonna stay silent. But when he lets go of me, just after the other one acknowledges who I am, I'm just gonna give him a little okay hand symbol, and I'm just gonna keep walking.
All right. So you, after he unlocks all the doors and you step outside of the stone and metal door, you hear the sound of like 50 locks. Locking behind just. Just going on and on and on and on and on and on. And they seem to be getting lower and lower, like below you, as they continue to go on and on and on and on until you can't hear them anymore before you continue walking.
Jeez.
And you head back up the stairs and you pass through the seemingly solid wall. And you look out upon the now hustle and bustle of the inn as it is around midday. I know it was midday. It's getting around to the afternoon now, and people are coming in. And you step out, and just as you would think that you would just suddenly appear behind the wall, you take a step through the threshold, and you find yourself on the other side of the bar, past the entrance that slides to the side. And you suddenly look around behind you, and you see another copy of yourself closing a door and then opening the bar and walking through it until it kind of walks into your body and matches up with how you're standing and then disappears.
Yo, that's awesome.
And then you just see Pops there.
Wow.
And he's just at the bar like he always is.
Yeah.
I hope that answered your question about Pops.
He never sleeps.
So, what are you doing?
Hmm.
What is your plan of action?
All right. So there's this merchant dude, and do I know where the merchant district is? Like, is there a location
Yes.
for where this guy normally is?
So, we're going to go over to the Eleanor map, everybody's favorite map. So now it's time for Geography with D&D Universe. This is Eleanor. You are here.
King's dead.
Ackley's killed him.
You are currently in the Western District. This is the Market District. This is the Trade District.
Neat.
Any other questions?
No.
What is your plan of action?
All right. So do I know exactly where this guy's gonna be?
Nope. You have never seen this guy in your life. You really don't know a lot about, because you only ever go into the trade and market districts when you have jobs, but otherwise a majority of your time is spent in the western slums.
Would I remember this guy if I? Oh wait, you said I have no clue.
You
who
have
this
no
guy is.
clue who this person is.
Oh, I should have asked.
Make a history check.
I should have asked Scandalin. Should have been like, hey, where can I find this guy? Like specifically.
You have no clue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No clue whatsoever.
Huh.
All you know is that he is in the market district because it says it on the paper.
What all does the paper say?
The paper has a picture of the target, kind of sketched into it. It has the reward on it, which says 200 gold pieces. It says location, market district. That's it.
Okay.
It's a rather small parchment. It's not like a full scroll. It's just kind of rolled up. It's slightly larger than it's maybe like twice the size as a business card.
You know what? I'm gonna go to the market district.
Okay, that's gonna take like half a day's travel.
Okay.
Which would mean that since it's already a bit into the afternoon, you would get there in like the dead of night. But you also notice as soon as you even take a footstep out of the Silver Dragon, you notice a pair of guards walking down the main road. And then about 30 feet back is another pair of guards walking down in the same direction towards you. And as the pair that is currently in front of you meets the wall at the gate, they turn around and start heading back. And the patrol for the other two that were on the left stops in front of you before they turn around and head back. Because there's only one road through the slums on each side.
All right. You know what? I'm gonna roll for stealth.
Make a stealth check. So
And,
since you have double proficiency, you're gonna throw a d20, add your dex mod, then throw 2d6.
I was gonna say, because also, can't I stealth basically anywhere that I'm like behind somebody? Because I'm guessing there's a lot of people here too.
Yes, but wait, no, you said that there's a lot of people. No, it is dead empty. There is
right.
nobody in the streets.
So double proficiency. For
Yeah. So d20 plus dex mod, 2d6s.
All right. Plus dex. All right. So there's the d20 plus the dex mod.
Plus 2d6.
Uh huh.
So that is a total of 31.
32.
32. I can math, I swear.
Uh-huh.
You stick to the shadows, as you normally would. And you think for a second as you're barely inching your way along, kind of the way that the sun is beginning to slowly set. You're trying to move with the shadows, and there is a fraction of a moment where a portion of your leg is visible as the sun is shifting in the sky, and you think for a second that one of the guards is turning to the right, and a panic starts to set in on you, and then you hear aloud, "Phew!" And then his head turns back and continues on his patrol, and you continue past.
That scared me. I was worried. I mean, really, why should I have been worried though? I mean, I got a 32.
So then you continue through, sticking to the shadows until you get to the edge of the center of the city. It is now just the early bits of twilight. It is the last few moments of sun before night takes hold. And I'm going to need you to make another stealth check because there's another set of patrol guards coming your way. And there's nothing for you to hide around in this small vicinity. This is exactly where you are right now. Right there. And there's like no houses, no nothing there.
And there's plus double proficiency again?
Yes. By the way, the other two who probably have their mics muted, can we just talk about these rolls right now? That is another 31.
That's
Yeah.
That's a 30.
He's taking all our luck today.
Yo.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 boom.
Meanwhile, Emery spending 4 weeks.
Just
Yep.
alone in his room. Sounds like my summer.
Oof.
Just alone.
And you stick to the shadows, and you start to go through the market district, and you're looking around. You continue to walk forward, trying to think of any time that you've seen this person, like where they could have been. But then you remember that the market district is constantly changing. People are coming in and leaving as the days change, as the months change. Even sometimes some merchants won't even show up for a whole year. Or sometimes only every couple of seasons to bring harvests or whatnot. And you then realize that trying to remember anything about where this person would be futile. You continue onward, and